Write, produce, sing, act, you name it, he can do it. Fly to the moon, no problem at all, okay? And he's here for you once again, 25 years in a row in Vegas for us. I love him, you love him, so you better put your hands together and show him some love. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, William Shatner.
Yeah!
What a pleasure to see you all. Thank you all for coming. It's really a compliment. I know you're here to see everybody, and this is a moment that I really thank you for being here. So it's always difficult to know how to start and be a part of the audience. And are we set up for questions here? Yeah.
Oh,
where? Both sides of it. So, I got it. So, the first thing I want to tell you is that a while ago, I did a one-man show on Broadway, and the one-man show was successful. I had a limited run, and then I toured with it. And I ended up in Toronto, and there's a very lovely city near Toronto called Hamilton. And I did a matinee and an evening performance in Hamilton, and I brought in a company, a lot of cameras, and we filmed it. And I've never done anything with it. This is several years ago, and so I had this film of the one-man show, and you know, I was thinking, what do I want to do with it? Do I want to die and then release it? Like, here's what you missed. And I just kept it until this moment.
Oh.
And yeah, so if you go to, there's a table out there in the dealers, williamshatner.com, and it's going to be released as a cassette. So you're going to be able to see it, and you got to talk to them at the table of how to do that. So there are a few things I've done that I really think, when I'm asked, you know, what's the most difficult thing and what's the thing you most enjoyed, I frequently point at the one-man show, because you know what a one-man show is? A one-man show is a one-man show. You're all alone up there. I mean, there's no dancing girls, there's nobody else to blame. Oh yeah, he was terrible, you know, tonight. It's just you and the audience and the connection you make to the audience. So that one-man show reflects a lot of me, and I'm very proud of it. And so I say, go to the table, Shatner.com, and find out how to get it. And one other thing that is different, got a new book idea, Josh Brandon and I, and it's going to be about you. I'm going to not interview everybody in the book, I can't do that, but I can interview a few people, and Josh will interview a few people, and special people that I appoint will interview you, the audience, the ones who are really Trekkies, and what's your story? I mean, bizarre things have happened over the years in people's passion, and it's many times delightful, and sometimes a little fearsome. But the varying stories of the fandom of Star Trek, I'm going to write a book about it. And you're invited to apply as one of the people I or somebody interviews. And again, go to the table, Shatner.com, and find out how to apply to be one of the people in the book. And that's really about it. The one-man show. So I was asked by Australia. One person from Australia came here, and I was asked by Australia to come, and would I do a one-man show based on one of the books I wrote? So I said, yeah, I'll come down, because I'd been going to see these incredibly talented people doing a one-man show, and I thought, God, that is really difficult. You could have music or dancing girls or flamethrowers or anything. It's just you and the audience. So I said, yes, I'll come to Australia and do a one-man show. I'll look over the book, and I thought, if it fails, which is liable to do, because I had heard about a well-known actor who went on stage to do a one-man show and was laughed off the stage. And that's like the actor's nightmare. Not unlike my being in a car on my way to one of the naval, one of the parks that have, one of the aquariums that have different types of fish, and also fish that are and mammals that are taught to, like orcas or porpoises, to jump in the air. And so to teach them to do that, it requires a lot of one-on-one contact. And so down in San Diego, they have the great, what do you call them? Aquarium, where you go and watch the porpoises leap and all that kind of thing. So they had, it's SeaWorld, that's exactly right. So north of San Francisco, they have another one, or had, and they invited me to go up there to do publicity to bring people into the SeaWorld. And so I went, I'm in a car. I've been flown up to San Francisco. I'm in a car, and I'm reading a newspaper, and there's an account of an orca in the San Diego SeaWorld who attacked the trainer and dragged the trainer down to the bottom of the water, Are you done? Done? Thank you very much.
Oh, Jesus.
Are you okay? Perfect. Where are you going? You're going over? Okay, yeah, but sit over there now. Okay.
Oh my God.
So, I'm in the middle of 3 stories at the same time. So, I'm reading an account of the trainer who died as a result of an attack by an orca, who are extremely intelligent and gorgeous creations of nature, but they're seagoing animals, used to 100 miles a day, and here they are cooped up. And this one, whose name I can't remember, but I'm sure you will, had gone insane from the captivity and kill his woman trainer. So I'm on my way to the one in San Francisco. And I get to San Francisco, and the trainer says, well, you know what would be a great idea is if you swam
Oh no. Oh no.
with an orca. And I said, well, did you read the paper this morning? And he said, yes, terrible accident, but I'll tell you what, he said. You sit on the edge of the platform, and I'm going to call the orca in. The one with that fin that went down. And I'll throw fish, and she'll come up to me. You swim into the center of the pool, and when oh no, don't sit. Sit on the edge of the pool with your legs like that, and she'll come up right here. Put your arms around her, put your feet on the fins, and you'll dance with an orca. Not the same orca that just destroyed the trainer down 500 miles down there. No, another orca.
Oh my God.
And when I blow the whistle, and you'll dance around, and then I'll blow the whistle, and you just lean back, she'll come for a fish, and Bill, and this is the way he said it, and Bill, swim as fast as you can. I got pictures of all this hanging on my office wall, and that's exactly what happened. I put my arms around like that, the orca, and my whole history is that with animals, dogs, horses, orcas, apes, what's her name, the wonderful ape that was in what was her name? Coco. I have a whole history with, I don't know if I've told you the story of Coco. So that's exactly what happened. The orca comes up, I put my hands around her, I look into her eyes, I put my feet on her two, whatever you call them, fins, and we dance in the swimming pool. We dance, and then, and she says, fish, and she goes that way. I swim as fast as I possibly can and get out of the pool. It was a magical moment for me and my sense of identity with the animals. I did the same thing actually with Coco. I was invited up to Coco, and I entered her cage, which was dressed to look like a bedroom. Why did they want it to look like a bedroom? My mind pondered the possibilities. And I came in, and she's gigantic, sitting in a chair in the center of the room. And I come in the door of the room. And she's gigantic. I mean, she's enormous. And I come in the room, and there's a sofa there, there's a bed there, and a young male gorilla in the next room over there who wants to get at her. And is rattling the door. Coco, I'm here, Coco. And I'm here like this. So I'm an actor. And you know, you can say the words or you can feel it. It really doesn't matter if you're really good. You can say the words, like I did a Broadway play for 200 performances. And by the 5th performance, you're already accustomed to it, let alone 195 later. So you have to say the words, and then you feel it. Like somebody you love. Hey, I love you. Maybe you may not, but so I find myself like this. There's Coco. But I can't, this is all terrible. This is better. So I said, I love you, Coco. And she looked at me. I thought, okay, that's working. I love you, Coco. Hi, Coco. Hello, Coco. Hi, Hi, Coco. I love you, Coco. Hi, Coco. And she extends her hand. Hi, Coco. And she grabs me by the balls. Like, go, 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 go. So the one-man show. You have to adjust to any possibility, and you know they were filming that in both occasions, and you have to do whatever it takes. So I go to Australia, and I do the one-man show, and they stand up and applaud. It was pretty good. And I had another person, an interlocutor there, and they got a pick question, and on there they tell a story and get some laughs, and an hour and a half later I go off stage and people applaud. So they asked me to go to another city in Australia. I go to another city. And then Canada calls while I'm in Australia. Will you come and tour Canada? So I started in Vancouver and I went all the way to Toronto, visiting all the major cities, 5 in Canada, and ended up in Toronto. And a guy in Toronto, somebody visiting Toronto, says, "How would you like to do this in New York?" I said, "Wow, you mean on Broadway? Yeah, do a Broadway one-man show." Well, that's like the top of difficulty in terms of being an actor alone, on stage, in front of a sophisticated theatrical group of people in New York City. And I said, yes, but I have to rewrite the show, I have to rework the show without somebody fielding questions. It wasn't questions, this was going to be a performance. So he said, all right, but you can't have the regular opening. Yeah, we've only got time for one preview and then opening night. I said, all right, I can do that. So I rehearsed, and I had a movable chair on wheels, and I used that as a motorcycle, and I used it as a horse, and I used inventing things to do with the chair. It was all working, and it was going well. So now I do the preview, and again, and we stumble through the preview, but now I got it. I have got it. Tomorrow is opening night. This is like the Orca. This is like the ape. This is like Coco. This is a moment in time. So tonight I'm going to dinner with my wife and friend. I'm going to eat very carefully. I got to be careful. I got to have my digestion. I got to be exact. I got to be at the peak of my physical performance. So we go, and they had hamburgers and a lot of sauce. I have fish. Fish. Calm, sweet. I'm going to be at the height of my abilities tomorrow. And the next morning I wake up and I am so sick. I am into the toilet. Every orifice, my ears, everything is leaking, and I don't have any control. And tonight I got to go in front of the audience and open a show, one-man show. What am I going to do? They get Dr. Oz. And the other doctor on CBS who's famous, because I had met Dr. Oz and he'd become kind of an acquaintance. So they came up to the hotel room, oh, you gotta get fluids, and they doctored me through the afternoon, and that evening, I go to the theater, sold out audience, and I'm doing a one-man show, and I can't leave the toilet.
Oh, no.
That's what I said.
Shit.
So, Kurt comes up, hello everybody, and they make him laugh, and friends, it's going well. And all of a sudden, I gotta go.
Oh no.
So in front of this opening night audience, I said, thank you ladies and gentlemen, there's been a technical difficulty, I'll be right back. And I run off stage, I run up the stairs, and go to the bathroom, get it. Then my wife is there, I gotta change my underwear, get it, and come back on the stage. Oh, and I finished the show, tumultuous applause, and it all worked. That is, you won't see that, but the one-man show tape is tape of the show that I did there. So, we're all laughing and having a good time now? You're all kind of warmed up now, yeah? Me too. All right, where's the question? Where are you pointing? Oh, that's over here. So, who's in front?
My name is Stella, and I was here last year.
Have you stayed all year? My God, that's a lot. That's really devotion. The fact that you would spend a year waiting to ask me a question. You could have written in the question, I would have answered. It could be in the book, you could do anything. Right into the microphone.
Okay, I wasn't supposed to come here. This was a last-minute trip.
Okay.
This was a last-minute trip!
What did she say? That's day of... This is a last-minute trip. For you or for me? They booked me last year. I'm booked next year. Where are you going to be?
I live in Reno, so it's just a hop, skip, and a jump from here.
She being hustled. What's your question, my darling?
Okay, well, I just wanted to know, in Frank Sinatra's words, you've lived a life that's full. So, out of your life, what is the most memorable thing you're most proud of other than being Captain Kirk?
The father, the grandfather.
I'm here. I'm so happy to be here in front of all of you. This is the proudest moment of my life, okay? You know why? Because what happened before I came on stage, is gone. It's in the past. It no longer exists.
Yep.
What exists
It's now, today.
is you and me, baby.
I'm happy to be here.
You want, you'll be there?
I'm happy to be here.
Okay, I'll see you next year.
You got it.
I gotta get away. What do you got? Right into TJ Hooker.
TJ Hooker.
Are you a policeman? You'd be surprised how many policemen think they're TJ Hooker.
How you like working?
Right into the mic so I can hear you.
How you like working with your late co-star James Darren?
What? What was the
What?
question?
James Darren.
Okay.
Oh, how did I like working with James Darren? Is that what he said?
Yes.
Well, he's there. James Darren, what was it like to work with James? James Darren is the sweetest, most wonderful, talented guy, wonderful actor, wonderful singer. I loved him. I loved him. One thing. Just one thing about Jimmy.
It was the funniest thing happened to
In TJ Hooker, I did for 5 years,
Very
running up
good.
and down the streets of Los Angeles, and frequently not running up and down the streets, frequently running from roof to roof on these buildings, painted white to reflect the heat right in my face. A crew on the roof, and Jimmy and a couple of the other people in the cast and me, and we'd be running after the bad guy on the roof of these buildings, which was fine. You know, you had to there were other times I'd be cabled off on a helicopter, and the helicopter would be rise, and I'd be holding onto a helicopter. I think it was TJ Hooker
Yeah.
that I was chasing the bad guy and came to a train, and we were shooting back east somewhere, and there were abandoned train tracks, and they had there was a guy that was looking for you earlier. Really weird place, you know. I think she's looking for her money or something. Gambled and had a. So, I learned, so I was cabled off on helicopters, holding on to a helicopter, really crazy things, cars speeding at 50 miles an hour, and I'm holding on to the hood, and I'm looking right at the driver, who's a stunt guy, and he's winking at me, hey, we're going 50 miles an hour, you're outside, I'm inside, and I got a safety belt on, and you haven't. So, we got to do this train thing, and it's a diesel engine. And I say that because the steam engines, I know this now from first-hand view, they've got protuberances, they've got things sticking out of the steam engines. And you can cable off, and then they wipe the cable off with movie magic. So you could be standing somewhere, cabled, and you're secure. There's nothing to cable off on a diesel engine because everything's oil. They don't need to get the smoke out there like they do with the wood burning thing. So it's all smooth. There's nothing to cable off. So the director says, all right, so here's what we're going to do. We've got the train going along here. The stuntman will be on top of the diesel engine. There's a bad guy in a helicopter chasing you. And then we have the camera in a helicopter. So there's 2 helicopters, train track, and the train. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, well, let the stuntman do that. So prepare the shot, the stuntman gets up, and the train goes along 40 miles an hour, the train going 40 miles an hour. And what happens is, your body is like an airfoil. So at 40 miles an hour, it's enough to lift you off your feet. So you're going 40 miles an hour on the outside of a train engine, going around a curve with a bridge and a helicopter on it, and it's just as easy to fly off, centrifugal force. So the stuntman does it very carefully, and then he comes back, and then I said to the director, how are you going to fit me in there? He said, well, I don't know. I guess what we'll do is when we go back to Hollywood, I'll do some close-ups of you in the studio. I said, that's going to look terrible. He said, yeah. I said, well, what if I did it at 10 miles an hour? He said, well, that might work. So the whole shot is set up. All right, action, and at 10 miles an hour, the engine goes along, and I'm good. And then if we finish up, the helicopter, and it comes to a stop, and I said to the director, how'd that look? And he said, it looks like you're going 10 miles an hour. I said, well, let's try 20. So we tried 20. How'd it look? Looks like you're going 20 miles an hour. I said, oh, geez, okay. Let's do it, 40 miles an hour. And we do 40 miles an hour. I can barely stay in one place because the air is blowing out, and the helicopter there, and the thing, and the bad guy sticking his head out the train wind, and cut, and it's over. Wow, I didn't die. Oh my God. What kind of an idiot am I? Why did I even, that is the dumbest thing, except for going to Coco and New York. So Jimmy was handy. I mean, he's an athletic guy. Except for one thing, on those roofs, he has a phobia about birds.
You can relate, right?
And there are pigeons all over California, and parrots, and little ones, and then big ones. There are cranes looking for fish in the ponds. There are birds all over California. Jimmy Darren's afraid of birds. So we'd start a shot, and a bird would go, you go, hey, all right, let's try it again. Jimmy Darren's a sweetheart. All right. Who's next?
Hi, Bill.
Hi.
What's your name? My name's Corey.
Corey.
All right, so
Hi, Corey.
Hi. On the Paramount Studios tour, I was told...
On the what?
The Paramount Studios tour. I was told that the reason that you were one of the people who discovered the 1983 Paramount Studio fire
was
because you hated the catering on Search for
No!
Spock.
The caterer, I didn't care about the caterer. What I was worried about was I was doing a film, and I had a contract to do T.J. Hooker, I think at that time, and I left several days, but we'd gone over on the movie, and suddenly I come to the studio, and some people are running around. What's wrong? The stage, the set is on fire. What? The set is on fire, Bill, run. I did. I ran into the stage, picked up a hose, and started spraying the fire because I didn't want to delay one day.
His paycheck.
I'd be late. You know, I would have broken contracts. I'd have been, Coco would have hurt me. So what I did is try to put out the fire with a garden hose, and the policeman, the fire got.
Uh-oh.
What's going on? There's a secret society right there. No, you know what? Come here. Hey, guys. Hey, you, come here. Come here. You in the blue. You in the blue. Come here. No, you, come here. What the heck is going on? Okay, nothing. I'm from the South, nothing's going on. Just a bit of a firing squad, but that's okay. He'll die quickly. What's your question?
Well, it's glad to see you back again this year.
Oh, I'm glad to see you back again this year. We infers that you were here last year.
I was.
Yeah, you was? Okay.
Well,
what's your question?
So, about 8 or 9 months ago, Unification was released. And
Wait a minute. 8 or 9 months ago, my niece.
No, Unification.
Unification.
Was released. So it was a beautiful sentiment.
What's Unification?
Okay.
It was the video that they did with the digital makeup for you.
Oh, the thing, the young thing.
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't you say that?
It was a beautiful sentiment between the characters of Kirk and Spock. And I know how emotional they were showing clips of it yesterday, how emotional you were.
Really?
Yes.
Wish I'd seen it.
I was just wondering if you had a moment to go back in time and say anything left to Leonard, what would you say?
If Leonard were alive today?
Yes.
I love you, Leonard. I love you. Where have you been? I've been in hell. Come to heaven, Leonard. Let me stand by you. I loved Leonard. Leonard was my brother. Leonard was born in Boston. I was born in Montreal. Very similar cities, old cities, and history, very picturesque, and lots of education and good restaurants. And it's a really cultivated, Montreal is a cultivated city like Boston is. And we were born 4 days apart. You believe it? And then when we met and we worked together on Star Trek, we realized that we had an incredible similar life with divorce and death and good fortune and bad fortune. He had 2 children, I had 3. We had so many similar things that the longer we worked together, the more fond we became of each other, and the more laughs we had on stage together that we were enjoying ourselves. We'd do something like this together and make each other laugh so hard that it was, the audience wondered what was the matter with us. And it was a joy. So we were all in a car. There were 4 or 5 actors going from one part of location to another, those many years ago. And somehow we got on the subject of smoking. And somebody said, well, I'm going to give it up. No, that might have been me. I said, I'm giving smoking up right now. Because one of my kids, my youngest, said to me, good night, sweetheart. He said, don't kiss me, you smell. Oh dear. So that afternoon I said, I apparently smell to my children, I am giving up smoking. And I threw the package, I littered. And there were 4 or 5 actors in there, and each one made that pledge. Yeah, you know, it's harmful. We now know it causes cancer. I'm giving up. 4 of the 5 people in the car gave up smoking that afternoon. The one person who didn't was Leonard. Leonard continued to smoke, and he died of emphysema. Can you imagine what a terrible, terrible, lingering death that must be, to drown? I have a friend here. They're trying to cough up the poison that's festering in their body from these artificial things that we've put in our body, which, by the way, is something we should all note, that the best medicine for all of us is what we eat and how we eat. Yeah. And I've learned very dramatically how bad sugar is for you. You were always told, don't eat sugar. I'm telling you, sugar is a poison. I mean, yeah, poison. It's not, it's a poison. It poisons your body, sugar. So, a friendly reminder of don't do that. Next question.
Thank you for being here. My question is for you. What is the process when you sit down to write a book? And thank you for what you've done for Star Trek.
What's my process?
When you sit down to write a book, what's your process?
The process of being on stage or writing or acting?
When you sit down to write a book, what's your process? How do you go about writing a book?
Oh, writing the books. Well, the older I get, and the more I read, and I read a lot, and I'm fascinated by quantum physics. Quantum mechanics are stupefyingly strange. I mean, there's a thing called superposition, which is that a particle of anything, I'm not sure if it's every part, it's got to be every particle, but say you had a particle of a crystal here, and 10,000 miles away, there's another particle of the same crystal group, 10,000 miles away. You agitate this piece of crystal here, instantaneously, that crystal is vibrating faster than the speed of light. There's something called entanglement existing in the universe. And it's universal. Everything is entangled. One of the suggestions of explanation is string theory, so that that reality, that things that exist are made up of little vibrating strings, which are all entangled, and everything is entangled. So you have, a friend of mine was playing with his family, lives in Los Angeles, and suddenly his wife said, I gotta call my mother. And he said, what? No, I gotta call mom. And she dials the number, and mom is dying of a heart attack. Somehow, and many people can validate what I'm saying, receive a message from somebody they're close to. Vibration, it's not a telephone. We are electrical powers. We have transmission. Our electrochemical signals are sent along our dendrites. I gotta tell you, lady, I don't know who you are, but this is the third time you've been down front. Hey! It's disturbing.
Oh my God.
Sit there and don't move. Whatever your message is, it can last 10 minutes.
God, Bill.
That's so rude.
Oh my goodness.
It's unbelievably rude. Yeah, isn't that funny? You're dancing off. We got the firing squad. We're entangled except me with her. That's We're entangled. Everything living. The trees give off electrochemical signal along the fungi, along the mycelium of the fungi, and it sends messages to the young trees. It even feeds, the mother tree even feeds the older trees. Electrochemical signals along the mycelium. Our brains work on electrochemical signals along our dendrites. So it's faster and more efficient, but it's the same chemical reaction and the same chemical signals of intelligence. Everything is linked. You and I and the rest of nature are entangled. And that's the whole argument for being kind to all of us and to nature. We all belong to each other, and all of us belong to the rest of existence, the world, the universe. We are linked chemically and electronically, and with the word quantum attached to it. Quantum is the study of the small particles of atoms, small particle of atoms. When you're in the ocean and swimming, you're in the quantum of the ocean. When you're standing on a hill looking at the ocean, you're in the classical tradition of reality. Both are the same, except one is a closer examination. The quantum is a close examination of reality. And that close examination opens up such mystery, such awe, and such wonder of the mystery of the universe that we should all never forget the awesomeness, the incredible forces that we have no idea about that lurk everywhere in the universe. It also suggests that we are caretakers of our earth, and we must, without question, care for the water, the air, the animals, the earth. And when I sit down to write, I'm filled with that sense of belonging and try and express it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yes, sir.